Hey there, welcome. This is Marcel. And here we are with the spicy chili pepper. So this practice is going to be a bit more demanding, like the most energizing part of the Yoga Mobility series. And we're going to work with a mix of inversions, going upside down, and some gentle deep stretches. So here for inversions, you need something that takes you upside down you're comfortable with. For me personally, that's doing a handstand at the wall. Can also be a headstand, anything that reverses the body position. But again, it should be comfortable. If you don't have a steady inversion practice, then please don't try the video practice. Get a steady inversion first. And we're going to get started to warm up our wrist joints here. So coming into a table position. In table position, planting your hands shoulder distance, index fingers parallel. Push all your weight into your index space, and with your arms straight and locked, lift the heel of your hand up and release it down. Just doing this slowly in your own tempo. Important, keep the shoulders pushing, leaning forward, yeah? So when lifting the heel up, you don't want to pass away from the weight in the movement. You want to give the weight into your fingers, into your index space. To make it easier, you can also keep your hands closer to your knees. It's going to take off a bit of weight, but you see I continue to lean forward. And second one is going to be fin push-ups. So placing the back of your hand down, fingers pointing towards each other. The top position, push into the floor, straighten your arms, round in your spine. And then here bend the elbows open and let your chest sink down towards your palms. Same as before. When I'm going down, I'm not leaning backwards. I keep leaning forward so the weight stays in my hands. It's like my shoulders want to go towards my thumbs. And after we did about 10 of those, coming back to heel raises for another round. Table position, arms are straight, elbows locked, lift the heel of your hand up and down. And this doesn't have to be a big movement. It's more important that you keep weight pushed into your hands, finding a maximum engagement and moving with this maximum engagement. Maybe it's going to be a very minimum space that is available, but it's all about this combination, maximum effort and how much space you can move through with this effort. And then again, fin push-ups, back of your hand down, arms straight, elbows locked, rounding at the top. Bend the elbows, let your chest sink to your palms. Always moving through your push-up progression, keeping the weight in your hands, in the wrist. Finding an own tempo pace that works for you. And then from here, release for a moment, shake out your hands. And then here, coming to active child's pose. Placing your hands shoulder distance at the front of your mat. Toes are tucked, sit your hips onto your heels, let the torso sink down. And then from here, inhale, rise and round into table position. Exhale, drop your belly, lift your head and push back into child's pose. Going in your own pace, inhale to rise. Exhale to release back and mobilizing the spine while you're moving. Just make sure your fingers grip the floor, the weight stays in your index space, elbows are locked, and you want to find external rotation with your arms. So the peak of your elbow is always pointing backwards. And with your next inhale, rise and round on table. Exhale, push the hips back, but now into downward facing dog. With the knees lifted, see how much you can push the hips towards the sky, lifting high with your tailbone, creating lengthening, stretching in your spine. And slightly open your feet outwards. Walk your hands backwards. And bend the knees, let the hips sink down, lifting the torso straight up, sitting into a squat. We're not going to be here for long, just getting a bit of stretching into the legs, into the hips, where we keep length and space in our torso. And then keeping the torso long and elevated, use the legs strong, rise up to stand. So now, time for our inversions. As I said, my choice is handstand by the wall. Anything that works for you, headstand by the wall, headstand on your mat. Yeah, anything that gets you into upside down. We're going to be there for 30 seconds. So make your choice, find your spot. And then without any stress, without any rush, in your own pace, rise up, find your inverted position. And as I said, 30 seconds here. First, make sure that you're stable. And then simply toning the body. That allows you to support the upside down position. Let your breath flow easy. Just very gentle inhale and exhale. And 30 seconds are done, slowly release down. Coming back to your mat for a forward fold. Going to start here with Tadasana. Legs in a diamond shape, feet touch, knees open sidewards. Sit up nice and tall, and then start to fold forward. In the beginning, make sure you're tilting from the hips, keeping length in your spine. So you're feeling a stretching sensation around the outside of your legs and your hips, your lower back, and keeping that stretching sensation for a moment till you feel space is opening. So this is not about forcing deep. This is more about seeing what becomes available if you keep the tension in the muscles for some time. And then maybe you feel that some space is opening, and then you can use a bit of force to go further. And then inhale to rise, coming back up. From here, find your spot for inversions upside down. As I said, I prefer handstand at the wall, but you don't need a wall. Yeah, you can also use a door frame, just something that spots you when you're going into upside down. And then in your own pace, setting up and finding your inverted position. So for me here, I get a comfortable line at the wall, standing on my hands, and 30 seconds, here we go. With your next breath, slowly release. Come back to the ground. Find your way onto your mat. I'm going to show the next one from the side perspective. I'm going to go into a straddle fold or Upavishta Konasana. So here sitting with the legs open wide sidewards, like a triangle. And then engaging the legs, sit up nice and tall and find length in your spine. So as you can see, I'm not rounding and collapsing. I'm really focusing on keeping a lift from my lower back towards the crown of my head. And then sustaining this lift as much as possible, I allow a bit of curving in my lower back, slightly bouncing, leaning a bit further forward. Maybe hands or forearms can find the floor. But my hands are down, I'm not rounding and collapsing. I'm still favoring lengthening the spine. You can see how step by step I'm going deeper here. And once I really feel I have reached a deep space, then I care a bit more about comfort, allowing my spine to curl, my head to release, sinking into the deepest space, and then just relaxing here. And then with your next breath, inhale to rise up. And one last time, come to your inverted position. So for me, I'm going back to the wall, setting up for my handstand. As I said, in your own pace, in your own entry, coming to your inverted position, getting steady here, and 30 seconds are running. If you're following me here in handstand, make sure the weight stays in your index space, fingers grip the floor strong. Your arms are straight, elbows locked, external rotated. You want to push, lift out of your shoulders, maximum scapular elevation, while you keep posterior tilt, navel drawn to spine. Rib cage is hugged in like Uddiyana Bandha. The legs are as straight and tight as possible with the toes pointing. "30 seconds are down, exhale, you slowly release. Now we're going to stay seated. Just for a moment here, relaxing the upper body. Just for a second, checking out your arms, rolling your shoulders. And just very gentle, standing strong, but circling your arms side to side and twisting with your torso. Again here, using gravity, using the weight of your arms, twisting left to right. And then going into a comfortable forward fold. Open the legs to an easy triangle stance, Prasarita Padottanasana in the yoga world. Bow forward, lean the torso in as deep as possible, and then round in your spine. You can even interlace your hands behind your head for a bit more weight, or wrapping your elbows around your head. Keeping the legs tight, knees locked. Make sure the weight is even between heels and toes, so you're not hinging backwards with your hips. And just allow your upper body to soften. Round in your spine, ease into that stretch. You can also start to play a bit, moving hips left to right, maybe reaching your arms in the space behind your heels. Just explore how you can deepen this position, finding more comfort. And then from here, you slowly rise up to stand. And that was the spicy chili pepper. Now you should feel very alive and energized from this practice. So thanks a lot for joining me here today. Take care.